What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here, back with more Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition, Rise of the Forsaken campaign. I am, of course, your humble servant, Jumbo Thick, who will be your DM for tonight. I am joined by my faithful companions, my heroes for the campaign thus far, Mr. Jumbo Smooth and Doobie 209. Quick introductions, guys, before we get into the meat of it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jumbo Smooth. I'll be playing the role of Marius Wolf. 5'8", 25 years old, gray hair, blue eyes. I'm a pretty strong guy. Getting tougher by the day. Just getting stronger and stronger.
It's true.
And on a creepy adventure with my friend Seamus.
Damn right you are. Damn right you are.
What's going on, guys? At2v209 here. I am playing Seamus. Basically the opposites of everything that Marius is.
Yes.
I like to picture us as Arnold and Danny DeVito and twins.
Exactly. That is an excellent comparison, actually. So, with those out of the way, for all those that have asked, I have gotten a few comments. We are, in fact, using 4th edition for the rule set. There isn't a lot extra out right now, so I'm having to modify as I go. And of course, there are a couple house rules that I've instated. And, if anybody has any questions and they want to know the particulars, feel free to leave a comment. You know what? If you want to leave a comment anyway, just to let us know how we're doing, or if you're liking the campaign, go ahead and do that. So we always enjoy that. All of us, including myself, do actually read the comments for these videos. So if you want to speak with us or ask questions, go ahead. Or yell at Marius or Seamus for doing something stupid. That would be fine. But regardless, last we left off, our heroes, Mr. Seamus and Mr. Marius, after thwarting the catastrophe that was the Beastmen herd that had sieged Silberg, the mining town that they both have ties to in some way or another, were offered a job at the behest of Mr. One Brandyfoot, the mining foreman, who then tasked them with finding a alternate path, we'll call it, into the mine to bypass some of the recent predicaments they have been coming across. In the course of this, you guys managed to scale a mountain rather quickly due to some good rolls and, of course, both of your knowledge of the surrounding area. You fought off a band of goblin scavengers, perhaps, came across some bizarre bodies outside of a large outcropping, which turned out to be a hidden door, which did in fact lead somewhere into the mountain. Of course, after delving inside, you discovered that the main entrance was blocked. But through also another very lucky roll, you found a path that was probably not supposed to be found for at least, another 10, 15 sessions, into a circular alien room with very odd architecture and like a pedestal. You were confronted somewhat by two staring figures lurking in the darkness. Almost like I don't want to say that. I'll have to edit that out if I say that. So let's just skip that. Two creepy figures lurking in the darkness with little glowing red eyes, which were scared off. There was no combat to be had. But Marius, in his wisdom, unleashed his inner investigator and managed to find a way to open up a pseudo-hidden door that he believed would lead him deeper into the mountain. You guys thence went through said door, and then found that you could not go back. You are currently in a tunnel, a very large tunnel at that. If you'll remember, it's about 60 feet wide, and it is so tall you cannot see the top of it. It is very low lit, though there are places where the light has completely faded, as there has been odd growths and disturbing things to be found. literally right before we left off, you guys had started to find bodies that were covered in this kind of green, almost moss snot material, which has also been choking the lights out. And you were confronted by a man running towards you, screaming, who happened to know Seamus in some way, who was then cut in twain by a demon. You fought said demon. Marius, of course, was covered in its excrement and ashes as it faded after you slew it. Mm-hmm. Rather easily, I might add. You did burn it with fire several times. But you killed the demon, and then that is pretty much where we left off. Does that sound about right to you guys? Did I leave anything out?
We are currently... Yeah, it sounds right. I think we currently maybe still have like an hour or so left on our Bugman's Ale.
Yeah, I'll give you an hour. We'll call it an hour. You have been trudging through this mountain, at least you believe it's a mountain, for a long time. So we'll say 9 hours has passed. Since you first entered into this area, where you did drink your Bugman's Ale upon entering, to hardy yourself, strengthen your resolve going forward, which may or may not have been to your detriment. We'll find out.
I know.
Have you been keeping track of your uses? Because I am not, and if you're cheating, I will murder you in real life. Okay, good. Okay, good. All right. So let's go ahead and open up then. We are picking up literally right where we left off. The Plague Bearer's remains, the ashes, are just scattered across you, Marius. You are still in the darkened tunnel, though it is currently very well lit around you, as there are still small pockets and remnants of flame from the Molotov cocktails you both doused this demon in. The flames that were burning on it have smothered out when it turned to ash, but the surrounding area that was coated in flame is still currently burning, and it looks like it might burn for a little while. The Gorilla is a very potent catalyst, it appears. Currently, the green kind of mossy, mucusy texture across the floor and the walls has been singed, and it smells like almost like burnt food, but a more... I want to try to explain to you guys what a burning body smells like, but that's a little disturbing. So we'll just go past that, and it's a horrible smell, mixed with the smell of just decay, almost like the flames are opening up, as if this moss-like material was almost like a living organism, and it's burning, and things are being released into the air and whatnot. There's little spores and things that are starting to flutter up out of the big patch that you guys had burned off. But, Seamus, I need you to roll me a perception check.
All right. 86. We're starting it off.
Yes, that is a big fail. Do you want to re-roll it? I mean, you burn some fortune points. You got plenty.
No, I want to hold on to it.
Okay,
I'm keep this roll.
Okay, so you guys are standing next to each other at this point. You glance around. Marius is kind of distraught, trying to clean himself from the filth that is coating his body. You don't really have any water per se. Well, you probably do. You probably have a canteen or something like that if you'd like to use that. But currently you're trying to dust it off of your face, get it out of your eyes. So he's a little preoccupied. Mm-hmm. And Seamus, you start glancing around, and you do see, even with your horrible perception test, this is obvious. There seems to be a light, some kind of light, very far off in the distance. You're not sure how far, but you do see something different than just the monotonous tunnel that you guys have been walking through. There's been a slight change. You're not sure how long it's going to take you to get there, but it is further up some way in the direction you are currently traveling.
Right. Kind of look over to Marius as he dusts himself off and say, Marius, I see a light up ahead. Should we charge on?
I don't think we have any other option, friend. Let's trudge on, as you say.
All right. We are moving forward then. Are you guys still side by side?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think so.
Okay. You begin walking. I'm going to, for brevity, I'm going to assume you don't walk through the fire. You go around the burning remnants of the Molotov cocktails, and you're still stepping on the mushy, nasty floor moving forward. You're walking for the better part of half an hour before you notice subtle changes. Seamus, the light that you saw seems to be fading in and out, almost like a pulse. The easiest explanation would be a pulse of some kind, almost as if it's going in and out. You're not sure what that means. It is a slow pulse, almost like an ebb and flow. Kind of reminds you of the tide in a way. That's the tide. Well, not necessarily. You guys haven't been to a fucking ocean before, so to you, to your characters, it would probably remind you of like water splashing up against the beach of like a lake or a well, shit. It wouldn't even be doing that in a lake, would it? There's a river that you guys are by. It could by the lake a little bit. You could have a little bit of a tide,
a little bit, yeah.
Not much, but that's what it reminds you of. So, you see that you've been walking for the better part of a half hour. At this point, you guys are starting to feel the effects of Bugman's brew begin to subtly fade. It's not gone yet, but you can feel the temporary courage that you were given is starting to fade away, and the monotonous, dark, terrifying place that you have been occupying for the better part of what you believe to be a day is starting to encroach upon your minds. There may be tests involved if Bugman's were to fail. But I'm assuming you can just continue walking towards the light.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You keep walking, and at this point, both of you would notice, as you're walking, more lights appear to be out. So there's more dark spots in the tunnels. But the pulsing light is getting brighter, so you're getting closer. Go ahead and both of you roll me a perception test at this point.
Oh, gee. I think feel like I got 21 out of 30.
No, okay, that's good. Good. All right, Seamus.
I just felt like
I got a 24.
Oh shit! How many successes is that for you?
For me, let's see, it's out of 51. So
3 successes.
Yeah, 3 successes.
Yeah, 3.
Probably.
Okay. All right. So, Marius, you start to notice that the floor is getting thicker. Your steps are starting to, and it's almost like walking through like mud. It just feels slick and almost like the bottoms of your feet are starting to stick to the ground, and it's requiring more effort. It's been a subtle increase, so you didn't really notice it until this point. Seamus, not only do you start to notice this, but you start to see that in the spots where the lights are darkened, with your keen eyesight that you have, though you do not have dark vision, but you do see subtle hints that there are actually offshoot tunnels that are occupying some of these darker spots. You look over and they're just as tall as you assume this tunnel is, because you can't see the top of wherever they are, but they're only about 10, 15 feet wide. So a large opening, not compared to what you're in right now, but still a large opening. And you're starting to see a few offshoots here and there, to the right, to the left. They are mostly completely covered in darkness. There's a couple of them that you look down and you can see kind of lights in the distance. You're not sure how far, but feel free to relay that to Marius and then let me know what you will do at this point.
Alright, look over to Marius and say, Marius, some little tunnels kind of going off here. But, I think we should stay on the path and keep going towards this light. Get out of this place.
I think you're right, friend. I'm starting to get a little worried, a little stressed. We've been in here for hours. I feel like we should have, hit the edge of the mountain if we've been walking through without much of resistance, I think let's head towards that light.
I hope the silver piece is worth it.
It's gotta be.
At this point, the Bugman's Ale is gone.
Okay.
The effects have dissipated. You are at the mercy of yourselves to find out if anything happens to you in the near future.
Okay.
You proceed to walk another hour. So you have been in this tunnel for a total of 11 hours at this point. You're starting to become wary. I need both of you to make me an endurance test.
All right.
Ooh.
That's a 28 out of 59.
Okay, how about you, Seamus?
I'm going to use a fortune point.
Yes, use that fortune
I had a
point.
crit failure.
Oh, yeah, that would have been fantastic. Damn it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. I rolled the exact same number.
No, you did not.
Impossible!
What is it?
I did.
What's the number?
66.
Yes!
Again? You rolled 266 last game.
Yes. Oh, yes. It feels so good. Seamus.
Jesus.
Does it?
It does feel good, finally. Seamus, as you are moving forward, just the sheer, just oppressive nature of the tunnel, it's been just wearing heavily on your mind. Suddenly the whispering has started flooding back to you. He left us. Where'd you go? He left us. Marius, you're also starting to see multiple versions of the thing of your nightmares. The figure with the beaked mask and the goggles and the long black cloak throughout the different tunnels as you're walking past. It gets closer and closer each tunnel you're going past, but has yet to reach you. Now, Seamus, you actually, as you're walking, you suddenly just feel like this is not going to end. The pulsing light, you're not sure if you're getting closer or not, and your body just rejects what you are forcing it to do, and you have 2 because of your critical failure.
Oh.
You have 2 fatigued conditions. So basically what that is that's a minus 20 to all tests until your fatigue conditions are removed.
Gee.
Essentially, You can remove one at the end of a rest. One can be removed. And you can temporarily remove one with a resolve point, but it will return within your toughness bonus in rounds. So for you, that would be 5 rounds. So you can use it for a quick burst of speed if you would like, or in combat to remove to kind of get your adrenaline pumping again. But you currently have 2, so that's minus 20 to all of your tests, unfortunately.
Okay.
I mean, for you, but for me, I'm really enjoying this, finally. Regardless. So, yes, the oppressive nature is just the monotonous, just sludging, and Marius is strong as hell. You, on the other hand, I mean, you're a decently strong guy, the average guy when it comes to strength, but, just this monotonous pumping of your legs, and the ground's getting more thick and slick with this kind of sludge, and you're just wearing out, essentially. So, yeah, we got that going on right now. But once that happens, Seamus, with your earlier perception check, you do notice that you are starting to get closer. Now, Marius, you can visibly, you look over and you can see that Seamus is struggling. He looks like he is hurting. He's starting to breathe heavier, and it's just not looking pleasant for him.
Do we get any sense that we're getting closer to this light? Or is it still kind of the same distance?
It appears that you guys are possibly getting closer. The light has brightened as you're going. It's still ebb and flowing, though. It's still kind of going in and out, but it's pulsating, but it appears to be getting brighter, so you would assume you are getting closer.
Okay. Could we estimate any kind of time of arrival from just our...
Okay, go ahead and you guys can both give me an intuition test.
Oh,
yes,
bad one.
Intuition.
I rolled a 54 out of 24.
Yes.
Oh,
Seamus?
I rolled a 98.
Got it. Got it. Does anyone want to re-roll theirs? Anybody?
I'll reroll.
Okay, go ahead. Spin that fortune point. Do it. Get him out of the way. Get him out of the way.
That was a lot better. 19 out of 24. Well,
so
a little better.
With the distance you've covered since you've noticed the light, it has gotten significantly brighter. And your intuition tells you that you will probably get there within the next 20, 30 minutes, maybe. Not that much farther.
I'll turn to Seamus. Seamus, my friend, I see you slowing down a little. Let's push on a little bit further till we get to the light, and maybe we can set up camp or something. I don't want to set up camp in this sludge.
I just want to get out of here as quick as possible. I don't like this place one bit.
Of course you don't. Of course
Agreed.
you don't. So you guys keep pressing on, and at this point, with a little bit of hope, you begin moving towards the light once again. And Seamus, the voices start to get louder. You left us over here. And as you pass one of the nearby tunnels, you think you see figures. They can't, but you've yet to see anyone except for the corpse that you walked past earlier. But you've yet to see any living being in here so far, outside of the demon that tried to murder you as well. So they can't possibly be real. Seamus, Marius, you also begin to, you notice out of the corner of your eye, you see movement. You can't really see that well down the tunnel, but you do register movement of some kind. You're not sure if it's just your eyes playing tricks on you or your paranoia starting to kick in, but it almost urges you to move a little bit faster.
Okay.
You guys make it another 10 minutes. So you are within 10 to 15 minutes of where you believe the light is, the hopeful exit from this tunnel of death and despair. You then, to your horror, start hearing chimes. Tiding, 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 ding. Tiding, 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 ding. You hear two distinct chimes, both in front of you somewhere. You can't tell. What are you guys doing?
Okay. Do they sound like the bells of that plague bearer?
They sound exactly like the bells of the plague bearer.
And then we hear two distinct chimes.
You hear two distinct ones up ahead somewhere.
Oh, kind of looks Seamus. I'll be like, oh, shit. Oh, Sigma scrotum. This is upsetting. I think there's two of those things up there. They could take a lot of abuse. Do you have any thoughts? Any plans?
I don't. I don't really know what to do anymore.
All right.
I can't concentrate in this place. I'm hearing things. I'm seeing things.
And Seamus, as you finish that sentence, you look over to your right, and you can see one of the tunnels. It appears to be clogged from top to bottom with that disgusting mucousy membrane that is covering the floor. And in fact, the one up ahead looks to be about the same, the one you can barely see in the low light. And then suddenly, Seamus, Marius doesn't notice this, but Seamus, you see a hand part the mucus, and then a second, and then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth, and then a sixth, and multiple hands start parting through the mucus, and heads begin appearing. What are you doing?
I'm gonna grab Marius and turn to her and say, Marius, what the fuck is this?
Marius,
I don't see anything you said.
You see it. You see, and then suddenly at this point, as he's turned you, bodies have clambered out. They are about 15 feet from you, and they begin shouting in your direction. The All-Father rejoices, and rebirth and eases your suffering. And you can see these boobous pustules. They look like they look like men, but they can't possibly be men. Their skin is green and full of pus. There are disgusting scars and crags, open wounds across most of their bodies. Their attire is in complete tatters, and all of them are covered in head to toe in the mucus that you have been walking through this entire time. They also appear to be clutching odd weapons, a hand axe here, a sword here, and they are slowly walking in your direction.
Seamus, I think we might have to kill these poor wretches. I'd hate to have to run into those. I think running away is not an option for us. If we're running straight ahead, we may come across those things.
At this point,
we're kind of stuck in between the.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we're kind of stuck in between the two. So I suggest we run.
We'll go run where?
Fucking anywhere but here.
I think I worry if we run ahead, we'll get pincered.
Alright, if you say so. I'm going to pull out my crossbow.
Okay. You pull out your crossbow.
Pull out my pick.
Okay, yep. At this point, Seamus, there are, since you are standing since you guys have not moved. You also see this would be the right side of the tunnel, an opening on your right side. You see 6 figures stumble out of this small crag, this opening that they've kind of pushed their way through, almost like a rebirthing process of some kind. On the left side of the tunnel, a similar thing happens as you guys are standing here debating what you're going to do. And 8 more figures step out of said tunnel. And they're slowly moving in your direction. They're not to you. They are about, at this point, they're about 15 feet from you. And the tunnel behind you is now almost being clogged with these corpse-like beings. And they're all they're sputtering, drool drizzling out of their mouths, and they're all chanting. At this point, they're chanting, "Father, Father," and they're walking towards you.
Yep, I'm gonna grab Marius by the collar and start pulling him away.
All right,
we're marching.
You are making a dash. We're making a dash for it. Okay. Go ahead and you guys roll me initiative.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's a D10, right?
Yeah,
It's a
D10. D10.
Okay.
D10, add your initiative bonus.
I got a 5.
Okay, plus your initiative? Or 5 total?
5 total.
Oh, shit. Okay, good.
Yeah,
all right. Well, how about you, Marius?
I've got 9 total.
Okay, so Marius, you are up first. As I said, the beings are about 15 feet from you. They're starting to converge on you from all sides of the tunnel. What do you do?
We decided we were trying to run away, so I'm gonna try to put my distance between them.
Okay,
going towards the light, I guess. The kind of way I'm picturing it.
All right.
Okay.
And Seamus, are you following suit?
Yes.
Okay, you guys are both doing this. Are we doing a mad dash?
Yeah, probably running pretty quickly.
I would assume. I assume my character is hightailing it.
Got it. All right, at this point, I need you guys to make me athletics tests.
Oh, no. Let's see.
Seamus, yours is at minus 20.
Ooh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Unless you want to burn that resolve point to nullify the effects.
Oh. Yeah, we're going to, because there's no way I'm going to beat it.
Okay. So we'll say that you get a quick burst of adrenaline, and for the next 5 rounds, or the equivalent of 5 rounds, you won't have to suffer the effects of one of them. So you'll only be at minus 10.
All right.
I have a failure. I rolled a 28 out of 26.
Yes! How about you, Seamus?
I rolled a 50 out of 17.
All right, 50 out of 17.
Ooh, damn.
Okay, so both failures. How many degrees was yours, Marius? Degrees of failure?
Mine was just a failure.
Just a failure?
Okay,
20, just a straight failure.
It was 28 out of 26.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. All right. Marius, you begin running and away from the creatures. You are having a hard time. The floor is suctioning, almost like it is trying to keep you in place. It's starting to suction to the bottom of your feet. Seamus, in your weakened state, as you are, your exhausted state, you're making a move to run behind Marius, and you are not covering near as much ground. Despite having significantly larger legs than him, a much larger stride, you are falling behind quickly. The creatures, the men, are following behind you as soon as they see you guys start to run. Uncharacteristically, all their eyes kind of open up wide, and they have a burst of speed. And they are also running behind you at this point. Seems that they weren't exactly zombies of some kind. They were people, and they are capable of running after you. So they are currently in hot pursuit. Seamus, one of them is eerily close to you, and depending on what you guys do next, you may... We'll see. We'll see. So they are closing distance on you guys as you're running. You're still doing your best to try to move forward. What are you guys doing to make the slip of your pursuers? Feel free to use your imaginations.
I'm thinking. Trying to think what I got on me.
Marius, you're up first.
Yeah. How far am I away from the nearest zombie person?
Okay, they are behind you. A quick glance over your shoulder. You do see Seamus falling behind. You see them converging on him specifically at this point. You're looking at, and it looks like more of the people are clambering out of the side halls as you go, and there looks to be almost a horde.
More of them?
There's a horde moving behind you guys. As far as you can see, it's kind of choking the tunnel behind you at this point. This is a 60-foot wide tunnel, so you can only imagine how many bodies are behind you at the moment. Yeah. The closest one to you would be about 30 feet. That which would be just within 5 feet of Seamus.
Question: is my scroll doing anything right now?
It is. Are you holding it, or is it in your bag?
It's in my sack.
You
my bag.
Cannot tell what is happening with the scroll.
Okay. I'm probably just gonna press on and be like, "Move it, Seamus," and just keep on pressing on. Especially if you said there's a horde, I guess.
Yes, there is. There's a horde of crazed people coming after you. Would you perhaps like to, I don't know, maybe give Seamus a little inspiration of some kind? Or, I mean, you could always go back to help him.
I don't know if I can give him inspiration. Do I have that ability?
Basically, I would let you do a leadership test. Okay. Do you have the leadership skill? Do you have it?
I do. I do have some extra points in there.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me a leadership test then.
Okay. That's 20 out of 37.
Okay, good. Ooh. So, Seamus, you feel a bit of inspiration at Marius's words. And on your next roll, how many levels of success was that? Just one?
Yeah, like 1.5.
1.5. So on your next roll, Seamus, you can add 1 level of success to your roll.
Okay.
So that's Marius, and you're still moving quickly in the opposite direction towards the light. Seamus, what are you doing to escape your pursuers?
According to my trappings, I have a pouch. Mm-hmm. How close is the one, like the closest one to me?
He's about 5 feet behind you, and he's got his arms outstretched. Oh, Jesus. You can see maggots writhing across his forehead, and flies are starting to burst out of them as he's running.
I want to throw this pouch at him as I try to continue running away.
What kind of pouch is this?
I don't know. It's just
a pouch.
I'm assuming it's like a coin pouch.
Oh, does it have your? Well, you know what? Let's
which would have my money in it.
Let's roll a let's roll that D10 and find out if your money's in it or not. 1 through.
I don't know if that's the throws.
1 through 5. 1 through 5. It's not your money. 6 through 10.
Okay.
You just threw your coins at this creature.
Okay. I rolled a 6.
You You in a panic. I'm not going to make you roll a test because you just lost all your money. You in a panic. You reach down into at your belt, clutching for anything. You're looking for something, and your hand falls on a hard object. You pull loose what you are not sure what it is, but you pull it loose off of your person. It's kind of tethered, but you rip it off in your panic. You toss it behind you. It smacks the creature dead in the face, and he fumbles. And as he stumbles, the ones behind him collapse over him, giving you a brief reprieve where you begin trudging forward. Oof. You're still about 10 feet behind Marius at this point. But you have been given a brief reprieve, and later you will probably realize that you just lost all of your money. But for now...
Need that silver piece now.
Yeah, you're going to need it now for sure. So you keep running forward. At this point, Marius, you see that there are corpses, or what you assume are corpses, much like you experienced back when you came across the first demon, of humanoid figures on the ground, covered in that thick, nasty moss. And there's almost like a field of them in front of you. It's going to be difficult terrain just to run through. So I'll let you determine how you're going to make it through these corpses. To get to the light. You are eerily close at this point.
You said it's like a field of corpses.
It is a field, and so the ground is uneven and slumped, and there's odd pieces of armor and things jutting out from the ground.
Armor, you say?
Yeah, sure. You want to reach down and grab some?
No, I don't really have anything, and there's nothing I see on like. There's no easier path that I see through the field or anything like that.
Whatever you decide to do, we're going to do a test, and this will determine how easily you make it through this field.
Okay. I mean, if it's just like a field, I think I need to try to figure out like what maybe is the best path, I guess.
Okay.
So,
I will leave it up to you. Intuition or perception?
Perception.
Okay.
Settling. Oh, 42 out of 30.
Out of 30? Oh, no. Do you want to re-roll that?
Yeah, I'm going to re-roll it.
Yes, you are.
All right. I got a 2 out of 30.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so, Marius, you... you're still, you guys are at a full sprint still, with this horde, and it's almost a cacophonous sound emanating from behind you. They're all chanting almost in unison, the father, grandfather, and they're creepily smiling at this point as they feel that they've got you dead to rights. Marius, you see the field of corpses in front of you, choking the tunnel from side to side. Remnants of something, you're not sure what. You don't have time to really focus on whatever the cause of this was. All you know is you need to get through. And you spot, it appears to be a small path through the center, not far from where you're at. You're going to have to diverge slightly to your left. You see the path, you go to take it, and you notice, because of your exceptional perception test, that there is a hand outstretched as you round the first corpse. And if you would have perhaps failed, it might have caught your foot and slowed you down significantly. But you see it, and you kind of do a quick little jump over it with your little tiny stubby legs. Jump over that hand and keep running. Is there anything you would like to do before you get all the way through the field?
Just be yelling at Seamus. Hurry up, Seamus! Run, you bastard!
Okay.
And just keep on kind of glancing over my shoulder to see if Seamus is kind of following me.
Okay. You glance over your shoulder, and Seamus is following you. He is about 10 feet behind you, but he is following you as best he can. Seamus, what are you going to do to get through this? Now, it is, you do, if you are following Marius exactly, you do see a path before you. It will be easy to trudge through. Keep that in mind, but what are you going to do to get through this?
I would assume my character would probably try to trace Marius' steps, seeing he made it through safely.
That's an easy one to make. I won't make you make a test on that. However, you round the corner, and the same hand is lurched out from the corpses that Marius did not tell you about. I need you to either just tell me, how are you going to avoid said hand from tripping you up?
I'm not. Maybe I could just step on it,
Okay.
Step on it.
Just gonna step on it. So I'm gonna assume. Let's see here. I'll leave this up to you. You can either make an athletics test, or I'll let you do dexterity to see it, and then without fumbling, deftly either step on it to jump over or get over it in some way. So you pick. You will have a plus 10. You have a plus 10, so you're even.
10. Okay.
So right now you're even.
We'll do dex. Alright, we're gonna dex the crap out of this. Oh, hell yeah! I rolled a 13.
All right.
Out of 30.
Okay, good. So, as you see the hand lurched out, kind of stiff in its rigor, you definitely, with your long stride, lift up your right leg and stomp down. The bones crunch beneath, and as you bring your other leg over to continue your run, your footing slips subtly, but you manage to stay the course and resume your feet and dexterously move forward. Now, at this point, Marius, the pulsing, glowing light is even stronger. And you see that there is a opening. It looks to be about the size of the opening you came through to enter into this hellish place. You start making a beeline towards that. And there is one last test to pass as two figures emerge from both sides of the doorway, cleavers held high, bells tolling in their opposite hand. And they are in a trot, smiling that very wide smile, freakishly wide, past what a normal person should be. Their pale green skin glistening in the ebb and flow of the light behind them as they are charging in your direction. What do you do?
Does it look like Seamus and I would be able to split the D and go in between them and get to the exit?
It looks like so they are coming from opposite sides of the tunnel. It looks like you could probably dash past them or attempt to dash either through them or around them. It's up to you. They are, they're not exactly huge creatures. They're about 8 feet tall. So they're not large creatures. They don't take up a ton of space. But they are present. So it's up to you how you want to do this.
The way I've kind of imagined it kind of coming in from both sides at me, if I make a dash action through them, would they get opportunity attack? Are they in range of attack?
If you made a dash through, the one in the lead, which would be the one on your left, might get an opportunity to attempt to strike you.
Okay. Marius kind of doing the math here, knowing that I guess Seamus is a little bit behind him.
He's a little bit behind you.
That would Seamus be attacked by only one or two?
Ed, you don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea.
Sorry, I got so many questions. I'm just trying to think of.
It's fine. It's fine.
A way to get through this. Question. Essence of Tarkag.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
If I was to take it, would it stop my action, or could I not take it on the run?
It's it's a free action to use. I will say, because you've experienced it, when you drink it, there is a immediate effect upon your body that might cripple you with pain momentarily.
Okay.
So at a full run, I mean, you're more than willing to risk it. But you will be rolling a die to find out if you fall on your face or if you stop running immediately for a moment.
Okay. Could I still use my action to push one of the things out of the way? The one that would hit me?
You could even
barrel tackle it.
I mean, yeah, you could do it. Yeah, if you'd like, you could do that.
shoulder
Or I mean,
charge.
you could even attempt it now if you'd like. You don't necessarily have to drink the potion.
Yeah. I'm worried about that crippling pain. I think I'm going to try to lower my shoulder and knock the one that's off. That would be able to attack me, kind of off balance, so that we could try to get through it.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a melee attack.
Okay.
And this would be a charge, so you'll get plus 10 to this.
And this is regular weapons skill.
This will be just straight weapon skill.
Okay. You said plus 10.
Plus 10.
So that would be a 5 out of 43.
Ooh, nice. All right, 4 levels of success.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So you do make contact with the demon. You at a full run, you see the one closest to you, the one coming up on your left. The cleaver's held high and is going to make a swipe towards you, and you almost like a cannonball lurch off of the ground and move your shoulder to intercept the right in the chest of the demon, and you connect with the plague bearer. I need you to roll me a endurance test. Plus 40, unfortunately.
Plus 40?
For now.
Okay. Oh, man, it's a pretty good roll for me. So it would be a 4.
Oh, my God.
Of,
It's not going to matter.
90,
it doesn't matter.
Let me tell you.
Jesus.
Out of 99.
Oh, my God. Okay, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As you strike the demon, some of the filth gets stuck to your shoulder. But the sheer momentum and your very stout, very firm body crashes into the plague bearer, knocks him off balance, and the cleaver goes wide as it sails over the top of your head, and the plague bearer does lose his balance and falls onto his back. You plant your feet and continue running. You make it easily past the second one, and you're right at the doorway. Do you push through?
Is the doorway
or you
open?
It's just an open doorway. Now you can't see through it. You can see that it's almost like a translucent film. It's opaque. It's not translucent. So you can't completely see through it, but there's light emanating out of it. Very bright at this point when you're this close.
Okay.
Are you just going to dash through, or are you going to wait?
Can I hold Can I hold the rest of my movement until Seamus catches up?
That's fine. So you fall short. You kind of plant your feet and place your arm against the doorway so you don't push yourself all the way through.
Okay.
So yeah, that'd be the end of your turn. Seamus, you see Marius jump. You see him essentially tackle this plague bearer, which is impressive. It's 3 feet taller than him. He knocks it to the ground and keeps running, and you see him skid to a stop and look behind you with his hand outstretched. There's Nickelback playing in the background as his arms are outstretched waiting for you.
What is this music?
What are you going to do?
So I have the Strong Legs talent.
Okay.
So can I like run and jump over that plague bearer?
Oh yes. This is going to be an athletics test. If you want to,
Alright.
if you want to attempt, at -10.
Okay.
If you want to attempt it.
Well, what? I don't know. What's the layout in front of me look like? Because there's two.
You are so one of them is on the ground. He's prone. He doesn't appear to be much of an issue. There is one that has closed more distance now. It's kind of, as Marius has gone past, its eyes were looking upon it, but then it sees fresh prey, especially at the horde that is behind you, which has been slowed by the field of corpses that you guys managed to brush through pretty well. But they are still a present danger. So that is currently what you're kind of seeing in this brief kind of heart-wrenching moment.
But I can see like a window of opportunity to get by and get to where Marius
Yes,
is.
there is a window of opportunity that you have right now.
All right, I'm gonna take it.
Okay. Are you gonna try to do this weird jump thing, or what are you gonna do?
Only if I have to. I was under the impression that it was like laying in the middle of the path.
No, it's not. It's laying off to the side
Okay.
to your left at this point, and then there's one on your right coming towards you. But you do see an
I'm just gonna try
opportunity.
to, yeah, all right. I'm gonna take advantage of that opportunity and try to get to Marius.
Okay. As you rush towards Marius, the plague bearer swings the cleaver that it has in its hand and smiles broadly once again and starts gibbering. I need you to either dodge or attempt to block this thing with something.
All right, we're gonna go with that dodge because I can't block it.
Okay?
Is that agility?
That is, yes, that's agility.
All right, and I'm assuming it's a -10.
It is at -10.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no.
Sigma, help me. Ooh. All right, I'm gonna burn another fortune point.
All right, do it.
God, this is terrible. Do I have the option to burn one more fortune point?
You get just one.
Damn it. Alright, I rolled a 54.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, how many levels of failure is it?
A failure that? It's out of 54 out of 17, so...
Yes.
Would that
Okay.
be 4?
So
3, maybe?
It'd be 3. I think 3.
Yeah.
Okay, Seamus. So you attempt to dodge. Basically,
This on Marius?
you attempt to dodge to the left, where you see a brief opening. You're still trying to keep your trajectory going in the moment, and the cleaver suddenly shifts, and you see the smile broaden even wider. The tongue flops out of the mouth, and it bites into your chest as you're rushing past. You take 14 points of damage. You can mitigate this with your armor and your toughness to your chest.
Yeah, good. It's chest at least.
It's your chest, so you can mitigate the damage from that. But I do also need you to make me. Wow, there's no point. It's over 100. You don't need to make an endurance test. There's no point. Well, actually, no. You have -10. Make me that endurance test. For you, I guess it's plus 30 for you.
20.
Okay, it didn't. Like I thought, it wasn't going to matter. So you don't feel any untoward effects, though there is a sludge that's left behind as the cleaver finds a gap in your leather armor. Well, actually, it probably just cuts through some of your leather armor, not like ruining it, but cuts through a sliver of it, kind of under the ribs. Under your right side of your ribs, and must have bit through some of the chainmail you're wearing underneath, and does some damage. And you kind of and you roll over to the left, and you are 10 feet from this door, staring at Marius with his open hand. Marius,
can I reach you with my little hand?
Marius, it is your turn. You're standing right at the doorway. You see the plague bearer carve into Seamus, and where he is rolled to, the second plague bearer is now sitting up and has locked its single eye on him and is raising its cleaver from behind. What are you going to do? You also can see in the near distance the first flicker of the crazed humans have made it through the corpse field, and one by twos are running in your direction.
Do I have the ability to, like, I don't know if this is in the rules or not. Do I have the ability to, like, you said he's 10 feet away from me?
He is.
Okay. If I like move up and, like, can I grab his arm and, like, pull him through the door with me?
Yes, you can. You move up.
That's what I would like to do.
Okay. I will say this, just because of you can see what's happening. If you move to grab Seamus, the plague bearer that struck him will have an opportunity to strike you. As well, yes, as soon as Seamus moves from his spot, the plague bearer behind him will also get an opportunity to slash him in the back.
So there's two. Both of them are behind us. I guess.
One of them is in front of Seamus, but in front of you, and one of them is behind Seamus. So only one of them will get attack on each of you. But if you move to help him, you may incur an opportunity attack.
Okay. And if I don't do anything, both of them will get opportunity attacks against him, right?
More than likely with his failure.
All right, then I will. I think that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to just like run in there and like yank him with all my strength, get him out of there.
Okay.
As soon as I can, yeah.
All right, you rush past, and the plague bearer isn't looking at you. It's still focused on Seamus as it's drawn fresh blood. You rush past it, and then it immediately notices you. You grab a hold of Seamus. You know what? Because you're aware of what's going on, I will allow you to make a melee defense as you have grabbed a hold of Seamus and are moving to attempt to block this incoming strike from the plague bearer.
Okay. Did I get a success for doing that tackle?
Yes, I'll give you a success for that. Why not? Since this is technically like combat at this point.
Yeah. Let's see here. That's gonna be well, it's all right. It's a 36 out of 55.
36 out of 55. Okay. You lucky bastard. You beat it.
Bad roll, huh?
You beat it by one success level.
Good.
So the plague bearer swings as it sees you coming back as you've grabbed a hold of Seamus. And actually, before it even connects, Seamus, let's see what you feel.
Hopefully nothing.
As Marius jerks you, you feel wind pass by your back by what could have been the separation of your head from your body as filth and flies kind of fly past you, luckily avoiding contact. You are pulled with Marius, him lending you strength and pulling you out of this hellhole. Marius, you actually, with one hand on Seamus and the other, grab your pick one-handed. It is a two-handed weapon, but one-handed, you manage to bring it up and knock away the cleaver above you as you run underneath it. You guys make it to the doorway and crest through. And
the frying pan.
now, you guys are both moving at exceptional speed as you go through this door, I'm assuming. Or did you guys kind of get to the doorway and then just kind of walk through?
Probably as quickly as we could.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm kind of going with. You kind of had a little moment there at the end. So, essentially what happens is you guys crest through the doorway and you feel cold. Your skin tingles as you both push through. You are you're holding Seamus, I'm assuming like by the arm, as you both push through, but you feel almost like a tearing sensation. Both you and Marius and Seamus, you both feel it as you push through. There's cold and it's almost like pricks, like little pricks of pain across your skin as you push through, and then suddenly you're out into the afternoon sky. At your current speed, however, you both do not see it coming. You both feel something catch your feet, and you fall flat on your faces, skidding into the dirt. You get a brief hope as you've made it out of this godforsaken dungeon, and you slam face first into the ground. Don't take any damage. Unless pride is damaged in some way. But you both skid across the ground, losing kind of your bearings. What would you guys like to do?
I imagine Seamus is kind of roll over onto his back and then say, "What the fuck, Marius?"
I probably just would hop up and as soon as I could and turn back around with my pick ready just to see if anything is going to come through the door.
Okay, you immediately stand up and you're at the ready. Pick ready, two-handed, kind of in your crouched position. You see stone. You see a flat surface similar to the original entrance that you came through. You feel a breeze. You're in the night sky. You're not inside a mountain anymore, though you may be on one. You're not sure. You don't recognize your surroundings at all. There appears to be some kind of shrine built around the doorway, and the doorway looks almost identical to the one you came through, but there is solid stone in the center, similar to how it was before. Whatever you did to the altar activated it with your scroll. The altars are not really altars. The kind of shrines are interesting. They are candles. They have a multicolored flame. It kind of flickers between colors. They are also in what appears to be paper lanterns. They're at the sides of each side of the doorway, and there's a couple of them stacked on top of each other. There are odd feathers kind of draped across some of the shrine. There appears to be some kind of wooden steps that you guys didn't see that lead into this just cliff face, or this stone wall. That is what you guys tripped over, eating it into the dirt. There are offerings left. It appears that there are offerings of, it looks like some kind of like rolled up paper, perhaps scrolls of some kind. You don't recognize the symbols etched on the outside of them, or the symbols that have been kind of drawn onto the lanterns. It appears to be ink. Perhaps it's black, but the flames inside give it a strange hue. There is multicolored banners draped across the actual doorway itself, blue and gold colors. And there is a disturbing mask. You don't know why you find it disturbing, but you do. There is a disturbing mask that looks like the head of a raven, almost demonic in nature. And you get a sense that the style is very similar to the mask that Seamus has in his possession. And it is hanging above the doorway itself, slightly out of reach. But you take that in. You do not see, it doesn't appear that any enemies are pursuing you through what is, you appear to see just a stone wall of some kind.
Oh, Seamus, I'm not sure if we're in the Empire anymore, but let's get the fuck out of here.
Seamus kind of lean up, sit up on his butt, and fling a rock at Marius. They got me fucking killed. And
make a ballistic skill test at -20, please.
Oh, is an 89.
Yes. So you throw the rock, and it is nowhere close to hitting you, Marius. You see a rock fly past just in your direction. It clatters over your shoulder and like hits like the center of the doorway that you were through. Kind of startles you for a second.
Oh, Seamus, just like that rat you bullseyed. Let's get you out of here. I kind of like help him up.
You pull him up.
Yeah.
At this point, I need both of you to make perception tests to take in your surroundings.
Okay.
Am I at a -10 or a 20?
You're at -20. You're still at -20.
All right. Oh. I got a 79.
Yes. How about you, Marius?
I rolled a 92.
Does anybody want to re-roll their perception test?
I only got one fortune left. Oh.
I mean, you can re-roll it.
I am not going to.
Are you going to, Marius?
Yes, I am.
Yes, do it.
Last one for the night. Deadling. Not nearly as bad. 9 out of 30.
Okay, good. So, Seamus, in your grief-stricken state out of what just transpired, the fresh wound under your ribs, Marius helps you up to your feet, and you guys both turn around away from the doorway. You do notice the doorway itself. You both kind of glance up, and this is definitely a mountain. You're on a mountain somewhere. The strange kind of shrine and paraphernalia around it are a little disturbing. That much is obvious. You guys turn around, and a disturbing sight is found before you. You are up on a cliff, overlooking an endless expanse of water. You have never seen this much water in your lives. It just goes till the horizon. The sun, you can see, is setting in the distance over the water itself. There's a smell of salt on the breeze as it's wafting over this. Neither of you have been to the ocean, but now you have. You are definitely not in the Empire any longer. You immediately see this, and Seamus, you are just awestruck. It's just, this is the first time you've ever seen this much water. You've probably heard stories, especially passing merchants, things like that, of the ocean and the endless expanse of water, but never before have you seen it in person, and it is just awe-inspiring. And you kind of lose yourself in the moment and you don't take in the rest of your surroundings. Very uncharacteristically of you, but given your injuries and everything happening before you, it's reasonable. Marius, you take in the sight, and it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful, picturesque sight as the sun is starting to set over the water. You do manage to pry your eyes away, and you look off to your right, and you do see that it appears to be there's a way down from where you're at. There's a path, and it's actually carved stairs into this mountain. They are made of some kind of rock stone material. It's got a weird color to it. You being familiar with rocks and mountains and things of that in particular, it's a little disturbing that you don't recognize it. But you do see that there are steps leading down to a very well-traveled path that goes down in what appears to be a forest, though it is a forest unlike any you've ever seen. There are some normal trees, but there are also these really long cylindrical trees. You think they're trees. They grow in bundles together, and they look not very thick, but very sturdy. That's the best I can do to describe bamboo to a person that's never seen it. But you guys get the idea. So there are bamboo trees in this forest. With your perception test, Marius, you see a little more. You see that there is a vast forest below you. You also see that this is the coastline. So you can see down, and there's actually a beach. On the beach, because of your good perception test, you see that it looks like some kind of debris or something is littering the beach in all directions. There also are several small boats. Now, you're not sure how far away these boats are, or even this beach is from where you are. It could be a day. It could be 12 hours. You're not sure. But they are a good distance away. And you see that there are blackened crafts of some kind, and it appears that from where you are, they have taken damage. The sails are a little tattered and whatnot, and they appear to be beached. You can count 4 crafts, though you're not sure there might be more down there, just given the kind of obscured view that you have. Past those, you also see smoke, which is kind of almost hard to discern in this kind of light. But with your good perception test, you do see smoke off in the distance. Not thick, billowing smoke, but almost like almost like chimney smoke, if that makes any sense. Multiple chimneys at that. You also see off to your right, which is mostly obscured by cloud, you see a mountain off in the distance, a very far away from you, at least a few days, as far as you can tell, across this almost endless expanse of hills and this forest that doesn't have many breaks in it, though you see a few. You see this huge mountain. It is massive. It's almost as Well, no, it's probably one of the biggest singular mountains you've ever seen by itself, because it's not a mountain range. It's just a single mountain off in the distance. And it is so tall that you cannot see the peak through the cloud cover. You do see a very large river, or to be more specific, a waterfall flowing down the side of the mountain that diverges down into the forest, and you're assuming probably trails off somewhere to the coast. But you take all these sights in, and you are free to do as you will.
All right. Just kind of awestruck with what I'm seeing and all the different things. Seamus, I'm not sure where we are right now, friend.
Marius, is this an ocean?
I think you're right, friend. I've never seen one myself.
I've heard tales, but where do you think we could be if this is an ocean?
I have no idea what we just went through. Something not right. I've heard stories of demons and horrors, but never experienced them. Sigma. I think our first order of business is to maybe go down this path, and I kind of point at the path that I saw down the mountain. Maybe we should go down this path and set up a camp near this forest and rest up a little bit, and then make our way. Unless you want to go back through that door, which I don't. I don't really want to do right now.
DM question.
Yes.
This wound I've sustained, would that container I have that like cleans and disinfects, would that apply to this wound? Is there any?
That's up to you. I mean, that's up to you. What do you think?
That's all. I'll kind of poke through my leather and chainmail. I'll show Marius. Marius, you're familiar with wounds.
Yes, I am.
What do you think of this? Think it looks bad. It hurts like a mother.
I say let's rest first, and then in the morning we'll see how it looks then.
Okay.
You're the hardiest man I know, Seamus.
If I turn into one of those freaks in the mountain, don't blame me if I kill you in the night.
All right.
All right. So, are you guys going to attempt to make camp where you are?
Yeah, I was planning on kind of making it down the path a little bit closer to the forest, so we could like collect wood or something for a fire.
Okay. Before you do, Seamus, now that you guys have kind of resigned yourself to trying to find somewhere for shelter, you kind of glance around where you're standing. Seamus, you notice a very strange thing off to your right, kind of in the direction Marius was looking. He didn't see it because it was kind of tucked behind the side of the mountain, but something seems familiar. You get a sense of deja vu, almost like you've been here before. And you slowly walk towards the side of the mountain, and there is a massive tree growing on the upper reaches up here. And it appears that the well-worn path that you guys are on leads past the doorway that you saw and around this corner. And Seamus, you see a tree. It is 20, 30 feet tall. You're not sure. The tops of it are a pink blossoming tree. It's very beautiful. But you don't see that. Instead, you see the lower branches. The lowest branch, in fact. Very thick, sturdy branch. You look at it and you see 7 figures hanging by their necks. their feet tethered together by some strange metal. There's an empty spot in the center where it looks like the chain has been cut, and there's a loose rope dangling above it. And that's where we're going to take our break. Oh, yes, this is going to be good.